This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the Ben & Jerry's Sundae Cookie Vermont-ster. This is sweet cream ice cream with chocolate chip cookies and chocolatey cookie swirls, topped with creamy whipped ice cream, sea salt, chocolatey swirls and chocolatey chunks. That's a catchy description. I bought this for €6.49 at my local Globus a couple of hours ago, and this is not the first take of trying to review this, and therefore the plastic ribbon right there on the top is already gone. I think this is attempt number 3 or 4. Pause if you want to read the German ingredients list right here. Of course, I'm once again incapable of getting all of it in focus because of the shape of the tub. Maybe this makes it a bit better. I don't think it's quite enough. Pause if you want to read the ingredients list in French. Pause if you want to read the ingredients list in Dutch, and pause if you want to read the nutrition table right here. This is all sorts of stuff, some religious BS right there. Alright, the bottom looks great as well, of course. I almost forgot that this is one of these sundaes, and they're a bit delicate at the very top, so I'm glad that I remembered to cut through this when it's right side up. Let's take off the top. I hope this is not too soft already. It is a bit soft already. Maybe not too soft. I hope that it's just not too soft. So we've got some chocolatey bits right here at the top. Those Ben & Jerry's and logos right there. You can see that quite well. We've got some sauce, which I think is the... is this the... It's some sort of chocolate sauce, I think. Then we've got the whipped cream ice cream on top, and all sorts of good stuff at the bottom as well, I hope. So let's cut through this right away. I say right away, we are over 2 minutes into the video. I'm a bit of a liar sometimes. I am interested of whether or not this... Oh, it's sugar, it's cream, and then it's water again. Alright, so water is still quite prominent. The last one, the vegan or non-dairy Ben & Jerry's Sundae, that was a bit too much water for my liking, maybe. I mean, it's interesting making ice cream with just water and not so much cream, but I'm more of a cream kind of guy. Let's cut this through at the bottom right here. Now this is, yeah, it's a bit, it doesn't really want to be cut today. Cross-section wise, this looks alright. We've got those cookie dough pieces, I think, down there. Or are they real cookies? Are they real cookies? Harder than regular cookie dough, it seems. That's nice, really nice. We've got that whipped cream on top, all sorts of swirls all the way throughout, and overall it looks quite good. I'll put one half into the freezer right now and I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright, I'm back at the desk, slightly out of breath as usual. Junk food is treating me well. A lot of pizza I'm making, a lot of pizza that I'm eating. Maybe I'm eating too much pizza and pasta, full stop. Let's try the creamy stuff on top. This was the best thing in the non-dairy Ben & Jerry's Sundae that we had 2 weeks ago, I think. Let's see what this is like. Yeah, it actually tastes of ice cream. That's interesting. Then we've got that chocolate sauce. Quite of a classic chocolate sauce, it seems. Got that weird too sweet flavor to it. And it's got that very specific cheap chocolate flavor to it. The one you get on Aldi that they throw about on parades and stuff like that. Yeah, that sort of chocolate. I think this sort of chocolate sauce is too sweet. It tastes like discount chocolate. It doesn't taste all too great. But if that was nicer, then this topping would be pretty nice, I think, because it's quite soft. Maybe a bit too soft. But I had this out for a couple of minutes previously before the start of this particular take, so yeah, I have to give it that. Consistency wise it's fine, flavor wise it's fine. It's just that sauce that lets it down a little bit. Nothing more to add to that. Let's taste this particular Ben & Jerry's and chocolate piece. This just tastes like that typical chocolate fat glaze. Nothing too special about that at all. It's not bad, it's just I expected something nicer, maybe. Alright, we took a look at the topping at the top. whipped top, I think it's called. Let's take a look at the base ice cream right here. Let's go for a bit of a scraping right away. Okay, now this is ice cream. It's got a nicer texture than the water we had 2 weeks ago. It tastes a bit of cookie, a bit of chocolate. It also tastes a bit of very milky hot cocoa, like when you cheap out on the powder a little bit. It tastes of that as well. I'm not sure if I'm liking this pint all that much. Now the cookie pieces actually come closer to those cookie dough pieces than I initially expected. Maybe that's why I confused them at first after reading what they were. But yeah, they taste different than cookie dough. They've got that actually baked cookie flavor to them, but texture-wise, they are too soggy, and they come too close to the texture of that cookie dough. But the cookie dough texture is nice. It's nice. These ones right here need more dryness, less wetness, certainly, to be an actual cookie piece, I think. Yeah, they're not awful. That's not what I want to say, but they're not the cookie piece that I want in an ice cream per se. That's for sure. Funny enough, I had these particular cookies, or the Aldi version of those cookies, about this size last week, I think, and I really enjoyed them. But if you had asked me at the time if I want those in an ice cream, I might have said yes. But now that I have them in an ice cream, they don't really fit into this ice cream all too well, and that's something that I didn't expect at all. Yeah, and that really doesn't seem to change. Okay, I think we are through with the individual ingredients right here. So we've got those swirls, we've got those cookie pieces, we had the whipped top, we've got that chocolate sauce and those chocolate pieces on top. The sea salt chocolatey swirls, those are these right here. I can try to take a look at them in just a second, and I'm sure this is not going to be the easiest thing to do, to just taste this sort of stuff all by itself. I'm trying, but I don't think I will be too successful. I can say though that I don't taste any salt, so they could have put regular rock salt in there. I wouldn't have noticed. Okay, before this melts away completely in my hands right here, I'm going to finish this up off camera, and I'll be back with you and the review sheet in just a second. The consumption process is complete, and we're ready to rate this with the review sheet. Here we go. First impression wise, I do have to say that I don't have anything to complain about when it comes to the looks. When we took the top off, it looked good. Color wise, same story here, nothing was off-putting in any way. Very decent overall picture, I think, when it comes to just the looks, the color, that initial impression. Consistency and texture wise, I think this has been mediocre, which is something I'm going to say once again in a different department, I think. But something that annoys me is that we've got a weird sort of cookie texture to it, and that it doesn't really fit to the ice cream itself. They are both soggy and a bit dry in the very center of those thicker pieces at the same time, and that just doesn't make sense for my brain. Those particular cookies, I know them over here as sort of soft cookies, and the outside of these in the ice cream were soft, but then the innards of those things were harder. I don't know, it didn't really make sense for my brain. Apart from that, the ice cream has been fine though, so was the whipped cream on top, or the whipped ice cream, what is it called now? The creamy whipped ice cream, that's what it's called. Okay, that was good. The sauce was very nice in texture as well, but the sauce is sort of an enigma to me as well. We come to that right now in the taste department, because while the topped ice cream, or the whipped top ice cream, see, I'm already mixing things up, is fine, that sauce on the very top, I do not know what to make of it. It tasted cheap in conjunction with that whipped top, but now that I've tasted just that stuff right here all by itself, it tasted nothing like the stuff that I tasted with the ice cream in conjunction. This one right here was a bit more salty, at least felt like something that reminds me of a salty flavor, but it didn't really like taste of chocolate sauce, and nothing else was very salty in any way. Salty in a way that I would call it salty. When it comes to those swirls, I'm a bit confused what those sea salt chocolatey swirls really are, because I can't really make them out. The sauce on top was just tasting a bit cheap, and the rest of the ice cream was okay tasting, but was mediocre. Nothing popped in a way that made me go, yes, I want to have this again, and yes, I'm really looking forward to the second half, and yes, I have to tell the people on the internet that this is the new thing to buy, because it's not. It's mediocre in flavor. It's alright, but it's not great. Not in consistency, not in texture, not in taste. It looks good, but that's really it. And I'm not really comfortable in giving any more points in the taste department than 3 out of 5 because of it. Mediocre as a whole picture, I think, describes this best. Thematization wise, don't quite know what they mean with like Vermont-ster. I give 0.75 points because I'm really missing a proper iteration of those sea salt thingies that they've got. And those individual flavors, like the sauce on the very top, that just shouldn't taste all that cheap like it did right now. So I don't know, 0.75 is all I can do in that department, which brings us to a final rating of 6.75 out of 10 available points. Now, this has been the second one of these Ben & Jerry's Sundaes, and I'm at the point at which I think, are all of these going to be mediocre at best, or is this something that I'll actually maybe get again, not just for a video? These videos are my excuse to buy this stuff, but when I don't make a video, I don't think I have an excuse to buy this because it isn't good enough to spend the money on. So I'm not quite sure where they're heading with this. I'm gonna try out, I think, the other 2 flavors that we've got of these Sundaes, but my expectations aren't that great though when it comes to the excitement of and the flavor experience, that eating experience of this particular ice cream. I don't know where they're going with this. Half baked and cookie dough are my favorite Ben & Jerry's flavors, and most other stuff is just, I don't know, it's there, but I wouldn't mind if they switched it out with something else. And this right here feels like something that they're just throwing out there because they want to have something new, but they don't even care about it enough because they're going to pull it anyway in half a year. That's what this feels like for me right now. Anyway, if you've got a question or a video suggestion, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then, bye bye.